The Burning Crusade Classic is on its way, and the pre-patch is inevitable. I wanted to take some time to answer a question that I've been getting rather often. What should you be doing during the pre-patch? Hello and welcome! I am Zerbraxi. The pre-patches in WoW are some of the most enjoyable and weirdest parts of the game. They're complete chaos, and that chaos can be really fun, but it can also be productive. I wanted to give you a couple things to sit on. So here are 5 things that you might want to do in the pre-patch for the Burning Crusade Classic. Let's go! Just as a forewarning, this video might be a little bit different than those that you've seen. There are enough people out there who focus on the extreme hardcore element of things, and I don't want to reiterate too much. There's going to be some crossover, but just a heads up, this will be my own take of things that I'm personally interested in doing and that I think others should take advantage of. If you're already level 60 and you already have your main picked for the Burning Crusade, then you get to enjoy some madness in PvP come the pre-patch. If you still need to get some gearing, then there's a change to TBC to the way that PvP is obtained, and this can be a real benefit to you. Currently, Marks of Honor can only stack up to 20 total, so you can never have more than that at any given moment. However, come TBC, this number increases to 100. And what this means is that you can get yourself a stack of 20 marks today and sit on those until the pre-patch. This is nice, but the real reason you want to PvP during the pre-patch is because all of the PvP gear opens up to be purchased via Marks of Honor and honor currency itself with no rank requirements anymore. Yes, all of the rank 14 gear will now be obtainable by anyone. This can be a significant benefit to your leveling process, and getting this gear can also be a great way to gear up your ults or to fill in some of those slots that you might need if you're a returning player. The PvP fun doesn't stop there though, by the way. Since all of these classes are going to be operating on their TBC functionality, then this is going to be a hilarious period for Battlegrounds. Talent builds are going to be all over the place since everyone will have access to the new talent releases. People are going to rage at how insanely powerful balance druids will suddenly be, and also there's a bit of a fun interaction that occurred during only the original TBC pre-patch. The arena queue opens at 60, and you can actually get into the arenas during the pre-patch in vanilla. Depending on how long this pre-patch is, there may well exist a month or two period where the level 60 meta will be nothing like you've ever seen it before. This type of gameplay only ever existed for about a month in the entire life of World of Warcraft, so the meta and figuring all this out is gonna be a bit like the Wild West. Take some time and truly enjoy that madness, or just rage quit. That'll probably be me. If you're not level 60, if you plan to reroll mains, or if you just want to get some ults up, then the pre-patch is the time to do this. Blizzard has already confirmed that the TBC client will be operating on the patch 2.3 experience changes. This adds new questing hubs, it increases the power of many quest rewards, it nerfs experience requirements for certain levels, and it also increases the XP that quest rewards in general. I personally remember leveling an ult after the ZA patch and forgot the XP change ever went into effect, and I thought something was wrong. I thought that I was cheating because everything was so fast in comparison to vanilla. This is a great time to level because many people are going to be also leveling their new Blood Elf and Draenei characters to max. The world is going to be full of people, so this would be an excellent time to take advantage of all these leveling buffs, while also having loads of players in the world to interact with to just make leveling feel that much more exciting. If you do need to level an alt, or you are currently 60 and are riding around on a normal mount, well, you might want to hold off on getting that epic mount until the pre-patch. There's a really interesting change that occurs, and you can take full advantage of this. There was a change in patch 1.12.1 of vanilla that flipped the cost of riding training and the mount itself, specifically for epic. However, Blizzard decided that since the original method was present for about 90% of the game's life, that the original method would be what they went with live for Classic. This means that currently in Classic there exists one skill for riding training, and epic mounts themselves cost about 1,000 gold per mount, which also provides the epic training that will come. Come the TBC pre-patch, the revision I mentioned earlier will go into effect, meaning that the riding cost will now be 900 gold for epic, and the mounts will cost 100 gold a pop. The fact that we know this beforehand allows us to save a bunch of gold. That change that I just mentioned was originally as a result of the 1.12.1, but patch 2.0.1 brought about another change. This patch reduced the total cost of epic riding skill to 600 gold instead of the original 900. This helped make the gold cost more linear for the riding skills as a whole, since flying training was now going to cost 1,000. So, what am I trying to get at? Well, if you wait until the pre-patch to buy your epic mount, then you get to save yourself a few hundred gold. If you have multiple characters that you're doing this on, then you can end up saving thousands depending on how many 60 ults you have. Now, there's another method that people are trying to take advantage of that I will mention, but it might not actually work. Some mounts are bind on use and can actually be purchased and then traded to other players in order to get them an epic mount to ride. When 1.12.1 happened, the riding skill was split into the two parts that I mentioned earlier, and this was prevented since all mounts now became bind on equip instead. There were many players who had never actually obtained an epic ground mount skill despite having an epic mount in their bags, since they personally never purchased the epic mount themselves and instead it was gifted to them. Blizzard decided to hotfix this after the fact in order to provide anyone who had an epic mount in their bags to be granted epic riding skill as well. Since this was a hotfix at the time, there's a very strong chance that Blizzard won't do this again, and those who try to game the system will be asked to purchase the lower TBC cost. If this does end up working out for you, great. It would reduce your cost dramatically. But I'm hesitant to recommend anything like this because taking advantage of a hotfix in this manner, we're like really getting close to exploitation there. Whether you're having to level or not, there's still a possibility that you're going to want to grab some seriously good items though to bring into TBC. If you're currently running through Nax each week, then some of these you might already have. However, if you need to get these on alts, or if you're a new player leveling during pre-patch, or just a returning player, there are some seriously valuable items to bring into you on your journey into Outland. Many of the Blackwing Lair class trinkets are great and will still be used for certain instances of play at level 70. There are consumables like the Brilliant Wizard Oil, which is still better than the new Outland Wizard Oil for certain specs. I've made a whole video myself actually considering some of these items and the really valuable ones that you can grab in Classic before TBC, so feel free to hit that icon to watch the video, that'd be great. Or check out other people's opinions as well, because some other people have some really great ideas. My main point is to let those of you who don't know this, but the amount of vanilla items that are still useful in TBC is much larger than you would expect if you've never played during this original transition. The final thing I wanted to touch on would be profession preparation. Professions and crafting in the Burning Crusade is the most powerful it's ever been throughout the entirety of World of Warcraft. Like, seriously, by a lot. I'm not joking about how insanely potent the craftable items are for the Burning Crusade. If you're somebody who's interested in getting their professions up soon in order to play the market, then well, you get to start early. There are great profession guides out there on the internet, and you can stock up on many of the vanilla materials that'll bring you up into 325 to 330 skill for many of the professions out there. Again, as I mentioned earlier, many of the items that you can craft during this period will also be even useful at level 70. A surprisingly large amount of the level 45 to 60 materials will be needed throughout the entire life of TBC. If you want to corner that market early and make some big money come TBC, or if you'd like to just get a stash going before prices get out of control, then the pre-patch is a great time to utilize the world to your advantage. You can start this now, but the pre-patch also comes with loads of increased player power from talents and other elements, so doing it during that window is even easier. So I actually lied. I have one more thing I do want to talk about, and I apologize beforehand. It's incredibly cheesy, it's incredibly lame, but it's something that I genuinely do think is worth discussing, and I wanted to put out there. The most important thing you can do before an expansion, and for this pre-patch in particular, is to really ask yourself and prepare, what do you want out of Classic TBC? Hear me out. The lifespan across Classic has shifted many perspectives across the community. So much of what people were expecting going in is not what they received. In many ways, this was disappointing, and in others, it was very exciting. The reason I believe this is important to ask yourself is because TBC is going to be another 18 to 24 months worth of content ahead of us. That's a long time. Do you plan to raid hardcore again? Are you already planning out your leveling process in order to expedite your attunement process? Do you have any idea of what you want to do? I started Classic wanting to play with my friends and to play decently hardcore. While life got in the way a lot during the pandemic, I also thoroughly enjoyed so much of my time in Classic. Now that TBC is rolling around, I realized that I need to figure out what I was going to do. I had started this YouTube channel to talk about my favorite expansion of one of my all-time favorite MMOs. For me, I already beat everything that TBC has to offer. I have cleared all of the content when TBC was live. So this time around, I get to do whatever I want. I'm going to be playing for the community. I want to stream getting people through their attunement process. I want to make content about elements of TBC that are good and bad, and how the community is progressing through this tale. I want to do things like level a rogue and beat players on the meters as a dagger spec. I want to tinker with the mechanics in new ways. I want to use World of Warcraft as a catalyst to convey ideas in nuanced ways. I want to talk about game design in a manner that involves WoW, but also all of the other absolutely wonderful games and MMOs out there. The coolest thing about having already beaten TBC is that I now get to help others do the same. That's my goal, and here I am working on it already. And that doesn't mean that my plans can't change either. If a good group of people that I enjoyed playing with maybe introduced me to a guild that I could play hardcore with, then I would absolutely consider it, because I do enjoy playing that game. As lame as it sounds, Classic seriously has shown that you can play the game in so many ways that you can't do in modern WoW. Progressing through the game also, we know now, will happen one way or another. So ask yourself what you want from TBC. Do you regret playing so hardcore and engaging in aspects of the game like the world buff meta? Do you wish you did take the game seriously, but instead went into Classic with no plan at all? From casual to hardcore, the spectrum is massive, and you get a unique opportunity each expansion launch to choose your path. And it can always be altered in time, but just think about it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you made it this far, then wow, I'm impressed. If you don't mind, if you could, before you bounce, can you hit the like and the subscribe button? That'd be fantastic. I'd really appreciate that. And if I'm not being too pushy, feel free to tell me if I am. There are a couple links down there in that description box. They're for my Twitter and my Twitch. I did them backwards like I normally do. That's annoying, but they're down there if you want to click them and give them a follow, where I go over my TBC preparation and gaming in general. Then that would be awesome, and I appreciate it. Again, thank you so much for watching. You all have been awesome, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye! I'm just gonna update that video and just be like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm balls in this. Standing by it. Fuck. I was like, I'm not gonna use a health potion. I'm gonna stand tall. Nah, whatever. Reincarnation is cool. I lost that battle. I love being a shaman, though.